It's time for another radio break reaction. I'm Todd Stack from Beyond 615, and at the time of this video, I've held nearly 1,400 coaching sessions where I've discovered universal truths that can be tailored to individual shows. Let's listen to Craig McDonald from KJIL in Kansas.
If you were a kid in the 70s and 80s like me, your TV surfing was vastly different than today.
All right, that's a great bring-in line. Everyone listening can feel a part of this radio conversation because he said, if you were a kid. He didn't say, you grew up in the 70s and 80s and we have something in common. Well, that would alienate people that grew up in the 60s or 50s or 90s or 2000s. So Craig does a great job activating someone's imagination into this beginning of this conversation when the song ends and the on-air break begins, and made a statement that TV viewing is much different today than it was back then.
You're listening to KJIL at night, and I'm Craig. Back in
Do you hear the friendliness in his voice, the joy in his voice, the welcoming in his voice as he introduces himself? I'm going to back this up just a little bit.
I'm Craig. Back in the day, you were the remote. Get up, walk to the TV, turn that knob, adjust the rabbit ears, wear the aluminum foil hat, and stand on one leg grasping the antenna with your left hand while holding your right pinky high in the air in the southwest direction.
Okay, he uses exaggeration to prove a point. Also, in the deconstruction of this break, you've got the bring-in line, you've got the setup. So the bring-in line is kind of watching TV today is different than it was in the 70s and 80s. And if you didn't capture the listener's attention, Craig is now using exaggeration to make someone smile or take them back to their childhood if they grew up in the 70s and 80s. Well done, Craig. Now, let's funnel to the story, to Craig's specific point of view in his life.
This weekend, I had a moment that really made me feel ancient, thanks to my 10-year-old daughter, Sadie, and a remote control.
Okay, Craig is still friendly. He still has a smile. He still has joy in his voice. He's not overacting. He's not a caricature of himself. He's just being himself. I don't know if you caught this, though. Name, relationship, age. 10-year-old daughter, Sadie. Now, he could have just said his daughter, but 10-year-old daughter, Sadie, he gave her a name. That's memorable, and it's also special. 10-year-old is good for the right brain imagination for the listener as well, because is she 5? Is she 15? Is she 10? I can imagine a 10-year-old in this story. It helps me in my imagination picture what Craig is saying. And if you thought that was good, wait till you hear some of these adjectives that he uses.
Okay, it was Sunday, and I was ready to watch the Buffalo Bills game. And Sadie, well, she was fully immersed in her millionth episode of Bluey.
A little bit more exaggeration.
Since she had possession of the remote, I asked her if she would kindly turn the channel so I could watch the game. And that's where she gave me this really confused look. Like I just asked her to solve a math problem in her head. And
analogy, antidote, analogies, adjectives are three powerful A's that you can use in storytelling. He did an analogy there that made the break kind of come alive in a new way, or that made the sentence come alive in a new way.
She said, "What do you mean, turn the channel, Daddy?" And that.
What do you mean, turn the channel, Daddy? Pause. Okay, that's good. We're kind of listening together, like what's going to happen next?
And that's when it hit me. Sadie has never had to, quote unquote, turn the channel. All of our TV viewing is streaming. Yeah, she's never experienced the joy of twisting a TV knob and hoping the picture came through.
There you go. A little real life wittiness for the exit for Craig. The story's over. Really, there's nothing more to say. And Craig nails that storytelling, a little peek into his life and what happened over the weekend with his daughter on the radio the following week, probably on a Monday night. That break was 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's very consumable. It's very memorable. And he had some great parts of the storytelling in there, that just really kicked up the break to another level, in my opinion. Great job, Craig. So if you found this video helpful and want to see more, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're a radio personality, you can have your on-air break featured just by emailing me, Todd at beyond615.com.